Horses. Beautiful horses. Ever dream of them? Ever just close your eyes and think of nothing but large four-legged mammals with long faces? Ever just... Hey, pardon the pun. Hey, break it up! Good. Sorry. What was I saying? Ah, yes. Horses. Dreaming of horses. Something you've probably experienced, and something I've recreated in the form of art. So, let me explain and show you my process. You join me here at my sheet of paper. As you can see, a man's face has already been drawn. This is because I forgot to press record whilst I drew him. Silly me. But if you want to know, I didn't have a plan at all before I started drawing this man. I just drew some shapes on the page and then created a face from that. I guess this would have been interesting to see, but hey ho, what you gonna do? Anyway, as I didn't have a plan, I didn't really know what to do with this man that I'd drawn, so it was time to think. As you can see, he has his eyes closed, so after some thinking, I decided that this was because he's daydreaming of something he absolutely loves. But what could that be? What would cause a man so much pleasure that you could see he was in pure ecstasy just by looking at his face? Then it hit me. Horses. The only thing that can bring a man pure, unlimited pleasure is, of course, a horse. So my only option at this point in time was to surround this man with a variety of horses to show the viewer that he was in fact daydreaming about them. What a wonderful idea. Alas, my eureka moment was short-lived, as it was at this point that I immediately began to struggle. Something was making drawing horses particularly difficult at this time. Perhaps it was the pressure of drawing a horse worthy of creating such a facial expression. After a short while, unhappy with my half-hearted attempt at drawing horses, I decided it would be a good idea to just finish drawing the man with my pens, as seeing him complete might help inspire me to draw better horses. And oh boy, or should I say, old stallion, was I correct. Drawing the solid outlines of this young old man really brought him and this picture to life. I think you can see better that he is almost asleep and clearly in a very deep and horse-related trance. Nay. I decided to do a really heavy black outline on this character just to make him stand out from his dreams, which would be represented in the background. As you can see, I added a few more details to his face just to make him look a bit nicer. He is a little bit scruffy, maybe that's why horses won't go near him, and that's why you can only dream of them. There we go. I just finished off drawing this character with a few wrinkles and marks on his face, before it was time to get back on with the horsies. At this point, I was feeling a bit more inspired, but not fully. In the end, only 2 of the horses you see here in this shot made the final cut, so my horse drawing ability still wasn't up to 100%. In the interest of time and making sure people watching this video don't fall asleep, I'll just speed through the pencil drawing process and move on quickly to my black line drawings. That way you'll see the... Oh god, sorry, but look at that. That is the worst horse I've ever seen or drawn. Look at its face. It is just horrendous to look at. Anyway, moving on. This here is by far my favourite horse of the day. Pointy out teeth, a moustache and a hat. What more could a man want from a horse? I also gave this horse a little belly, as he's been eating well. Maybe he runs a successful circus. Another horse, another moustache. That's all I need to say about this guy. The next horse was drawn at a different angle. I wanted to create the impression that these horses were all floating. Imagine the International Space Station, but much bigger and jam-packed full of horses, all floating about. That's exactly what it's like in this man's dream. This horse here is giving the man a little look. Could this suggest that the man has an ego? That he's so arrogant that he thinks that a horse would give him the time of day and give him a cheeky little look? Or are we just looking into this man's fantasy here? Is this a man so sad and lonely that he can only dream of getting such a glance from such a horse? It's up to you to interpret that as you like. Below this, I drew the back end of a horse. This is because I wanted to create the feeling of a wider horse universe, a dream world of horses that spreads beyond the A4 page in which they were drawn. I didn't want the paper to be the boundary of what a man can dream of. So every so often I drew part of a horse that the viewer can imagine is part of the further dream world. Or is it something more sinister? Does this man enjoy the rear end of a horse? This horse even has a tattoo on its buttock. Has he purposely conjured up such a sick image in his mind? The truth is, we'll never know. I forgot to draw this horse's either leg or arm or whatever it would be. That horse can decide what it considers its front limb to be. But that's not important right now. Look who's watching us. The rubbish horse. A reminder for me to never get too confident in my drawing abilities, as I can always come up with something absolutely awful at any time. Another horse with a moustache now. This horse has a spiky mane, so he's a cool horse. Slightly muscly arms as well, which suggests this horse goes to the horse gym. Not sure how he goes about picking up weights though, with those hooves, so I don't really think the guy having the dream has thought this through. Another rear end here, another look into the crude mind of a man obsessed with horses and their backsides, or an innocent horse floating behind him. That's up to you. Time now for a lady horse. She's floating about at the top of the picture, looking down on the man. Whatever could this suggest? Is he intimidated by women in real life? Or perhaps intimidated by female horses and their ability to bring other horses into this world? Something he'd love to be able to do. Sleepy horse. Not much can be said about this one. It's asleep. Perhaps also dreaming. Perhaps dreaming of a human world. And perhaps inside that human world, there's a man asleep, dreaming of horses. And inside that dream world, there's a horse asleep, and it's dreaming of a world of people. And this goes on, forever and ever. Amen. This horse has bangs. It is clearly aware of fashion trends. Perhaps the man wishes he was more aware of fashion and trends, or perhaps he wants to meet a horse with bangs. Oh god, he's back. The horrible horse is back. I can't believe I actually gave this horse the time of day and actually drew its outline in pen. I should have just rubbed it out and pretended it never happened. As you can see, I tried to salvage it with a moustache, but even that couldn't save a horse this rubbish. This horse is an embarrassment to the horse community. Last couple of horses now. Not much can be said about this one. And the final horse is just a pair of legs. Maybe this horse played a wicked witch in a horse version of The Wizard of Oz. That's up to you. And there it is, people, the final full outline drawing. I don't remember drawing that horse on the bottom right, and I didn't film it, so don't know where that came from, but it's welcome to stay. Overall, I wasn't thrilled about this drawing, but it's fine, and it's introduced everybody to another perspective on horses, which is always important. Obviously, it goes without saying I'm devastated about that. Time now, though, to add even more life to it with some colour. For that, I must go over to my magical computer, and you can watch me colour it in via this beautiful sped-up montage sort of thing. Let me just pause this little section right here, as we've reached a very important part of the video, as it's here that I made the executive decision to use my digital tools to erase the horrible horse forever. Goodbye, horse. Goodbye. Good riddance. Good day. Good morrow. I bite my thumb at you, sir. You rubbish horse. And there it is, the finished picture in colour. All that's left to do now is print it out and stick it in a frame. Beautiful, beautiful. Voila. Not the piece of work I'm most proud of, it has to be said, but, as I also said, it does an awful lot for the horse community, and it's not the worst, so time well spent, I think. And I think it looks alright as a print. What do you think? Please do let me know in the comments. Also, please subscribe to this channel, Doughnut Harvest, to see more, as I regret to inform you that this is the end of the video. So, I remind you again, subscribe to Doughnut Harvest, turn on that notification bell, follow me on Instagram at Doughnut Harvest, follow me on TikTok, it's the same, and I'll see you next time. Cheery bye. Goodbye now, thank you, see you, thanks for watching, bye.